Oh man, goodness gracious, I just wish things would get back to normal. I really do. And man, it sucks. It sucks so bad. It's not going good. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Neil here. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because on this channel I give photography and videography reviews and recommendations of budget gear that you can use for your workflow. But today's video is a little bit different. Today I want to talk about what you should charge if you are a freelancer photographer or videographer. Now maybe you're just starting your journey, or maybe you're trying to recover with everything that's been going on in the world and you're trying to get back out there, myself included, because I've been finding it harder and harder to get projects, like video projects for businesses, also do photography sessions for people, because people are still afraid and scared, unfortunately so. You know, and I get it, especially if they've had a family member that has been affected by this whole pandemic going on. As far as the virus goes, I understand it. I know a few people that caught it and they recovered well, but not everyone is so fortunate. So getting back out there is going to be really tough, especially if you are trying to get back in your rhythm, or you're just starting with your journey on being a photographer or videographer. So today I wanted to talk about some ideas and some tips that I have and what you should charge trying to get back out there and get back into the rhythm of things. So I had a couple of good ideas. Recently, I just started going into businesses into my local area and offering, depending on the business, either photography or videography. And the way I would proposition that is, hey, you know, I've noticed that you've been closed this long, or you just opened back up, because I pay attention to stuff like that in my area. So how about we give the place a little bit of hype and a little bit of freshening up, maybe take some new photographs that you can use on your Facebook or your Instagram, or if we did a promo video letting everyone know that you're back open, the services that you offer, when you're gonna be here, and hey, come on in because we're ready for business. So I did that with a few shops, and luckily so, I got one shop, it's a barber shop, and I went ahead and did photography, some clips of that particular barber, because it's his shop, you know, cutting some of his clients' hair. And then I went ahead and threw a promo video in there because I was already there. It took me basically like from start to finish with the photography part of it and the videography part of it. It took me about an hour, a little bit over, maybe an hour and some change. But the proposition value was, not only can you use it on social media, it's going to let people know that you're back open for business. And you know, if you're susceptible to doing it and you like the outcome, then I'll charge you X amount of dollars. Now, I'm not going to say what I charge the person, because everyone's going to have their own prices. Whatever you think is fair for your time is what you should charge. But I'm telling you, getting back out there, I would just, you know, caution on the side of whoa. Think about it. These folks are struggling to open up their business. Some folks weren't fortunate enough to come back and open up their business. So work with them as best as you can. So that way, once things so happen to recover, they're going to think about you. Wow, they really did me a great deal. They got my business back up and going with some social media assets that people seem to love. Because if your work is good, then of course, not only is the owner going to like it, but people on social media are going to say to him or her, wow, that's a cool video, or wow, that's some awesome photographs, glad to see you're back at it, and know that they're open, which is in turn hopefully going to generate more business for them. So what does that mean for you? Then they're going to call you back and say, hey, I like the video that you shot, I like the, you know, photos that you took, can you come back and take some more in such and such time, or a couple weeks or a month? It's just something to look forward to. Now, that will work if you're just trying to get, well, hopefully it will work if you're just trying to get back into the rhythm of things. If you are a freelancer and you're looking to get into photography or videography, you can try that. Just keep in mind, if you don't have a body of work or a portfolio, then they may or may not be susceptible to give you a chance. Now, if you are just starting out and getting into the mix of this while everything's trying to get back on track and normal, then you may have to do a couple of jobs for free. You don't have to be excessive, but maybe if you're doing photography, you go into a salon or a gym or a yoga studio or a massage studio and say, hey, I'm just going around taking some pictures for local businesses, helping local businesses out. So that way you can use it on your social media and let everyone know that you're back up and running. And then I'm going to give you some high quality images. And I'm just basically doing this out of the kindness of my heart. And if you feel like you can use me later and you love what I provide to you, then please keep me in mind for any of your photography or videography needs. So you're planting a seed, but also giving them value back in return immediately. So if you're a freelancer and you don't have a portfolio or a body of work, think about that approach first. Now, you don't have to go out there and do a half a dozen or a dozen free jobs just to build a small, quick portfolio. I would say 3 to 4 would be great. Just do different types of businesses, do different types of niches, so that way you can show some diversity in whatever you're doing, whether that's photography or videography. And then also turnaround time, be quick about it. Don't sit there and take a set of pictures or do a video on a Monday and then wait a month to deliver that to the client, because at that point they're no longer excited about it. It's not fresh in their mind. They may be busier at that point, or they may not care at that point. So the sooner the better. I like to turn around my pictures within 48 hours. Video takes, a little bit more time because you want to create something that's engaging for whoever watches the video. But point being is, don't take a long time to deliver your work, because you never know. If you deliver it and they like it and it's quick, then they may just get you to come back and do more because they want more of it. So if you are going somewhere and you have to do free work, don't do a ton of it. Don't do a half a dozen to a dozen free gigs if you're just building your portfolio. If you are already going out there and trying to make a couple bucks because you do have a portfolio, stay to the side of low. You're planting a seed, you're creating value, you're giving them that proposition, so that way they can come back to you later once things hopefully get better for them and use you. But also you need to be thinking about this: referrals. Referrals is huge in our industry and our niche for photographers and videographers. The majority of my business comes from referrals. I don't typically run Facebook ads or Instagram ads or anything like that, because it's really hit or miss. And with so much competition for photographers, not so much videographers in my area, and your area may be different, photographers are really, really saturated. Everybody's a photographer here that picks up a camera. And I get it, and I'm not downing anyone. I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone, because I'm still learning every day. But someone who may charge $25 or $50 for a session, may not do as good a job, not just because I'm charging $200 or $300 for a session, but they may be a little bit more amateurish than, say, some high quality work. And you always want to deliver your best scope of work. So what I'm getting at with that is, make sure whatever you do, you take your time, but not too much time, whether that's the photos or whether that's the video, so that way you can turn it around quick and make sure it's high quality. Those things make that particular person or client want to come back to you for more, because if they show it on their Facebook feed or their Instagram feed, well, one or two things happen. Either they don't like it, or people don't like it, or they say, hey, let's do some more like that. That was really awesome, and I want to stay relevant with my social media. And then, of course, if anyone else that owns a business, they may refer you to them and say, yeah, this person did the photos for my business, this person did the video for my business, you should, give them a buzz. So think about it in that aspect. Think about how you can get back out there and efficiently create value proposition so you can get back to working, make a couple of bucks. This is a marathon, not a race. When everyone's trying to get back into the rhythm of things, yourself included, and businesses, think about trying to give them as much value as you can on the budget side of things. Much like I do on the channel with budget gear, I'm always conscious of thinking about what will do the job sufficiently, but for not the most expensive price, because all of us can't afford that type of stuff. So you need to think about that as well with businesses, especially right now. So I just wanted to come on here, pop on here, give you a few tips about that. It was on my mind, and since it did work when I went to a few shops, and it did work with a barber shop, which I'll be showing you that video kind of like a BTS, and then the final version of the video that I did for them, as well as the photographs. I'm going to have that in a separate video on the channel as well. So if you want to see that and get an idea of how I approached the business and how I basically got the job in order to make a few bucks, then definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that as well. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you continue creating. So go out there and make something awesome. Leave in the comments below if you have any sort of luck, or you get or land any sort of jobs by the tips and kind of like the conversation that I had today. I would genuinely like to know if that worked for you. All right, guys, I appreciate you coming by, and until the next video, hasta luego.